All right, welcome to Totally Rewarding Chats, the live at World at Work in as advertised, sunny, warm, sit by the river, San Antonio, Paul, or has it been the 50s driving rain and wind experience I was hoping?
If you found sunny and warm, you definitely partook in April 20th yesterday, because it is definitely not sunny and warm by any stretch. It is warmer back home and sunnier back home in Chicago than here down in South Texas.
Yeah, I think World at Work made sure by ordering that weather that we would partake in all the sessions and stay indoors.
And then just before we get into our guest, a thing that will probably never happen again, and for the first time in TR Chat history, Sean and Paul have the same background.
Oh, this is true. There's a long history depending how much you've listened. It's the same background you had yesterday, by the way. I just want to call out.
We have the same at the
We
same
have the
time.
same background, because the other day when we did these from here, we sat on the other side
of the table.
So I'm stoked to have Ryan Berkey here.
Hey there.
That's Berkey, and there is a silent H in the middle.
Secret.
Oh, secret.
Yeah, that's some real talkers. Secret H. Yeah.
Oh, like a secret agent.
Yes.
A little dad joke to throw
a
that
little
in.
AI agent too.
Okay. So Ryan, great you could join us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're both actually in the same room. We now have
proof of life.
It's right here. Yeah.
Proof. Yeah. That one of us is not an AI.
It's amazing.
Bot.
Yeah. Wait, can you just push your hand over your face just to make sure it doesn't glitch out? Because
that's usually they want me to hide my face.
Oh.
Why that happens. Give us your background and a little bit about why you're here and what you're doing now, and then we'll dive in.
So I have been in a total reward scene for a while now, and I've been around companies large and small, and most recently at a large e-commerce company where just kind of learning about AI here in the last year. It's been exploding, and it's really kind of a passion area of mine.
Mm-hmm.
The last TR 25, there was a session where a HRBP took a picture of their food per their GPT to track their calories. And I came out that saying, how hard could this really be? I mean, this is a gratuitous use, right, of AI. We're burning tokens here. How hard could it be? And so I came back and I made my own GPT to help leaders at that e-commerce company actually make JDs, because we didn't have JDs everywhere. So like thinking about like end case, and I'm like, this is actually kind of fun, and then being kind of a side hustle. And since then, I've built agents, custom agents. Most recently here, I talked about my ARIA agent, my automated rewards innovation ally. So she pushes back. She tells me to touch grass at times. And I own that. And so I am super excited to kind of help other builders get inspired, because we really have, like, this is a moment in time where the doors are open. We have radical agency to do. That's radical candor. So keep me honest here and accountable, but we're not, that's a different podcast, right? But as we think about, like, radical agency we don't need permission, just go out and do it. And we can build whatever we can imagine. If you can imagine it, you can bring it into life. You don't need to have a development team. I use Python every day. I don't know how to code Python, but my AI does. And as we think about, as we're using AI, is it making us dumber? Yes or no? I would say every tool changes you. Like, we used to print out MapQuest, right? Get in the car, family, everyone pack it in. Now we used our GPS on our phones, like long distance road trips. If all of a sudden, like, you didn't have that GPS anymore, could you get back?
I'd figure it out, but
you would.
It'd be different.
I might meander, but it wouldn't be as efficient, because we are cognitively offloading and choosing how we spend our brain cycles. That's just we're naturally efficient, but not lazy, right? Yeah. So as we think about, what are we abdicating? What are we doing? Also kind of gets back to, well, can it passed our smell test?
Yeah.
So the GRP, CCP, that's still important as it was before, because it doesn't teach us how to memorize all the rules, but teaches us the why behind it, so that as we get stuff out, we're like, okay, it passes the smell test.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, man.
Let's do the human check.
So we got to make sure
you've
got literally a sign on your head that says AI guy. So we want to make sure if you're like an AI guy or you're literally AI.
We got a better one. We got a better one.
All right.
So, knowing how high energy you are, I'm very curious. The first one: are you a coffee or tea person?
Coffee all the way.
And then the follow-up is...
two follow-ups for Ryan.
All right, dude.
How much coffee do you drink?
Well, today, I've lost count. This is
okay. Yeah.
This is where I am. This is my life now. After having little kids, like How do you live? Well, during the day, coffee. At night, bourbon. This is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So those who don't know Ryan, sometimes when people are on, they're high energy because they're nervous and whatever. This is literally him all the time. So if you're like, I'm not telling him to slow down
Is this guy
because
like what?
he's literally like this all the time. The follow-up coffee question:
Okay.
Are you a coffee snob?
Oh, I'm not sure how to take that. So I have an espresso machine.
I am
here
a
we go.
coffee snob, so
Okay.
don't take it as a bad thing.
I'm only Starbucks. I cannot do Caribou. I'm sorry, Minnesota. It's where I'm from, but I have to do the Starbucks. But I've learned that Starbucks is kind of expensive, so I like my Nespresso. But if I have like to be able to choose any kind of coffee, Kona coffee.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
It's like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 7. That's definitely
it's on the snob
over,
end.
more
Yeah.
snob than not.
Yeah. But I will drink the conference coffee, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
Place you have not been to on vacation that you'd like to go to?
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to go to the Maldives.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just get out there. Very few people actually get there. I heard they have some good weather. They might have some coconut.
Sleep on the water.
That's
Sleep on the
literally what I
water.
heard about San Antonio.
Hopefully not sleeping with the fishes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
well,
a
that
different
leads
discussion.
into the next one. Actually, we're right on side, so you literally have to pick one across from you now.
Okay.
Yes.
If you have a weekend alone, although we should probably have rephrased the question.
Oh no.
You have a weekend alone to escape. Would you rather go to a posh resort or would you rather go out camping, rough it?
I am so torn. So if it's by myself, I would, on one hand, there's a strong part of me because my wife is all about creature comforts. And I've leaned into this in recent years that I would go to all-inclusive resort. But I grew up camping and it's like core to my identity. Like I'm just going to rough it. And a hot dog tastes the best off of a campfire.
So the new version of this question.
It is. So you're the first person I asked alone because legitimately
we have to remove the husband guilt though. So the new framing is going to be your wife
no
is on a
guilt.
your wife
spouse.
is on a week. Yeah, your spouse is on a weekend trip with their friends.
Okay.
You've now got a choice of how
Yes.
you spend your time. Would you rough it in the woods or would you follow to the resort?
I would do a tech detox in the woods.
There we
making
go.
s'mores.
There you
Yeah,
go.
with s'mores.
We're gonna
That's
get
great.
more
We're
Sean.
gonna have to get
More
the-
Team Sean.
Yeah.
people.
So what's happened now, as you can tell, is most of them are like, well, actually, my wife would only go here, and so
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
I'm not even going to entertain my own thoughts
This is,
on this.
Well, this is fair because you have the decision and the default decision, and
Correct.
I choose to stay married.
yeah.
That's right. And just like AI, context and framing matters. Right?
Yes.
We need to provide
This is the
context that
context.
makes it more of your choice, not the choice for the family.
Yeah. So I get some free agency in this.
That's
I
right.
like
We
it.
need
I
to
like
create
it.
agency.
Yeah.
That's good.
First AI tool you used, which was the first one
Ooh.
you used?
My first AI tool that I used was ChatGPT. This was back in late 2024. No, late, probably like November.
It's the
Right.
definition of a new industry. So way back,
Way back
way
when.
back
I
in the
think-
day. in
I think that's a
24.
But in AI terms, that's like 30 years ago.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
be serious.
I think that's a trick question. Totally spell check. I guarantee
No.
is everybody's first AI.
No, first AI bot was Clippy.
Clippy.
I was
Clippy.
gonna-
Oh,
Clippy.
love it.
Good.
Clippy
Even
was
better
the
than
first-
spell check.
Clippy was the first one.
I want to write an app to bring Clippy back.
Just bring Clippy
We need to
back.
bring Clippy back.
Bring back.
Like Claude Code.
now's the
Write me a
time.
Clippy.
Clippyisback.com.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that domain's available. Venture,
We're going
here
to
we
bring
go.
Clippy back. Done.
I'm bringing Clippy back.
And
Like,
there
I'm
it
waiting
comes.
for
No,
a
that's
song.
why- no.
We need a better theme song, though.
No.
We're going to workshop
I'll do it
this.
better. I can
Okay.
produce that one.
All right. All right.
So
We'll try harder.
Last one.
AI, try harder.
Last one. Are you a crunchy or creamy peanut butter person?
Creamy.
Okay.
Full stop. Like
Yeah.
if
As
I
it
wanted
should be.
Not even
crunches in
entertaining the
my
option. Yeah.
sandwich, I would put potato chips in there.
So I know you're the guest, but we have this unique opportunity.
Yeah.
And you'll tell he has no idea it's coming either.
Yeah, this is going to be weird.
That you both did the AI Skills Lab. So one kind of I'll let you guys go, which will be interesting to see how long I don't talk.
Oh, are we going to arm
Yeah.
wrestle? This
Yeah,
be
no,
great.
I will lose.
Be interesting to see how long I don't talk. One, why you did it, and then the really cool things you saw yesterday, and then let's talk about how you guys pivoted to the what's actually cool, too many people, and
Yeah.
love the no video screen for AI demo.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know.
The universe is testing my mental agility and how can I fill up airtime? Apparently, I can fill up airtime. Let me tell you about all the ways I can do it. So in the middle of my a session, I used to remember before the skills lab, I was talking about how AI is and changing how we do things, and really the barriers are reduced. And let me show you something that I use every day. And right when I get to the point and I'm showing everything clicks off. And apparently some wonderful AI tech, which they've done a great job, and this conference, just want to throw that down there, unplugged all the monitors.
Oh.
And so
I didn't
as
have
I'm
that
like,
problem.
here, I'm now going to push play on this pre-recorded portion before we got to the unscripted live debate on stage with my AI verbal sparring.
Well, you had a backup plan. That's
I
good.
did, yeah. So, but I didn't have a backup plan for the pre-recorded video portion of today's message. It went out, and people were like pointing at the stage. It's not there. It's not there. Okay, fine. This is when I pivot, and I'm going to describe in your mind's eye theater. Look on the left side. You will see this amazing prompt by which I was just giving context. And the context really is showing where all of the files are and what's going to happen. And let me tell you about this. Okay, this is still going. And okay.
Plug it back. How hard is it to plug it in?
Pivot.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, I really appreciate the AV team. I'm like, it's not plugged in yet. So let's talk privacy. Yeah. So data privacy. And
wow. Good pivot.
It was probably like 2 minutes, but it felt like 30 years of my life.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have as many tech glitches. Think this is your session right after mine, because you were coming in as we were
before
finishing.
in the morning when I talked about how AI is changing work. Let's talk about what we can do. Is very inspiring. Like I find myself doing more motivational speaking about don't be afraid of AI. Go out and use it. There's nothing in the way. You're afraid AI is going to take your job. It's not.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is the world will pass you by if you just don't try.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the way. You don't have. Do I know Python? I've said before, but no, I don't. I don't know how to code VBA or do HTML, but my tools and systems do.
Our pivot was different. So in my AI skills session, it was more, we did not expect it to be a presentation, right? So the premise of the AI skills lab, which I applaud WorldatWork for the premise, and I think they were right. We just didn't realize how right they were, was fingers on keyboard. Like, we are going to build something. I'm going to try this, which is really hard to do for 250 people who can't even sit down with their computer, right? So like that was our assumption that was wrong, was this is a hands-on. There were two of us. One was going to be sort of sharing. The other was going to be floating like you would in a workshop.
Yeah.
That doesn't work when there's no room to float because the room's so full.
Yeah.
So we had to pivot to the like this session is optimized for something that is now suboptimal. But like, how do we tell the story? How do we make it relevant? I have another one today that we fully pivoted. It's like, now we know there's going to be an element of, I just have to talk.
And I learned from your experience. I saw what happened. Like, okay, I am also going to be pivoting. So I posted all my resources on my website, adaptations.org. And I was able to, even though not everyone had one of the laptops, I'm like, all right, you can pull it up here.
Go to that site. We did the same thing.
Here's
totally.
all the things. But I still learned from your experience of, okay, here, I'm going to talk for just a little bit. Everyone, while I'm talking, is getting their materials out, and then I'm going to just walk around the room and be that lurker and encourager in chief, and helping people realize that just because you don't have Claude Code doesn't mean you can't use AI. Just because you only have Copilot, look, you can use other AI to generate like a Word document and just take it over so that to your a Copilot, whatever it is that you want, you're not really limited. Just go out and try. And how do you build your innovation ally? That's what we focused on. Is really not your yes person. Like, Ryan, that's the best idea in the world. Ryan, you have great hair. No, I have no hair. like
not the same thing. Yeah,
being able to push back, having that someone stress test your ideas. It's like your bright-eyed, bushy-tailed intern that can go do stuff. But on the other hand, you always need someone to stress test your ideas. And iron sharpens iron. And one of the ways I found is like, I make a snarky, helpful AI agent that Aria pushes back on what I say.
Yeah, it's one thing.
Is that the name of your your
Aria.
agent?
So
is Aria?
It stands for something.
It does.
Oh,
Automated Rewards Innovation Ally.
Oh, I named mine Wanda for no good reason.
Wanda,
As a
okay.
fish. Like,
Look,
as a
yeah,
fish.
is it a fish?
So
That's right.
so literally, like, wow, I just feel
Yeah.
like such
Yeah.
even more of a loser than normal now.
Yeah. Well, one thing I observed, and I'm curious if you saw the same thing. If we took a random poll of people's Excel skills at TR26, everybody's probably a 7 to a 10. Like comp people, rewards people.
I don't know.
pretty...
Sean's probably a 12.
Yeah.
So let's give him the benefit of
and
the
there
doubt.
are some that go beyond 10. I think people are open about the fact that use of AI, we're from a 0 to a 9. Nobody's a 10, right? But like a 0 to a 9.
Yeah.
And the diversity of where everybody is starting is all over the place. But I like that most people are willing to admit it. Like most people won't raise their hand and say, I suck at Excel.
Yeah.
But they will say, I'm not there yet. I need to figure this out. I don't know if you saw the same thing, but we saw people willingly saying, I do not know where to start.
Right.
And where do I click?
Part of it is kind of showing what's possible, right? So that's what I did during my first session. I ultimately showed another gratuitous use of AI. Not only did I just use AI to run Monte Carlo simulations for my March Madness brackets, which I won. But that's another story. I also showed another gratuitous use where I verbally talked to my computer and had my Claude Code agent talk back. So I had a local server translate my speech into the Claude Code interface, and then I picked out a voice through 11 Labs, and it came back and it talked to me, and we sparred about how many job levels should we have. And then after going back and forth a few times, thank goodness, Anthropic servers didn't go down. That was the one thing I didn't plan for entirely. But then I said, okay, Aria, make me a level structure leveraging Radford that's on my desktop, but I want 9 levels instead of the 7 levels. Go. And so then she just made the spreadsheet. So as we talk about using spreadsheets, I haven't made a spreadsheet in the last 3 months on my own. I just bark at my computer and my agent makes spreadsheets
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
I still audit those spreadsheets again, like any intern. Like you want to make sure that what they're doing, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, they need some supervision. But how we're spending less time at our keyboard typing stuff out. Who wants to write documentation? Nobody does. Set up a meeting, record yourself, and then send it to your AI, and it'll do it right there. But how do we break past talking to builders versus those who can actually use this stuff?
Yeah,
it's how can we reduce the barriers? Well, some of it is like, hey, well, you can talk to your computer. Some people have a hard time typing, trying to get their thoughts out right, but they can verbalize it. Okay, well, that's one way people are more verbal versus non. But as we think about how to reduce the barriers, it's also about how people just get started. Because now we're at a 9 out of 10, but some people are at a negative 5.2, right? What do we do about that?
Yeah, I think we talked about earlier. I was stoked to see that because I said last year, I think the AI vibe was, oh shit.
Yeah.
And this year it's like, how do I use it? And I really think in an 11-month period, because it was not
that's
May
true.
last year.
We lost a month.
So even less than a year, I think it's come a long ways. And it's exciting to see the stuff you're doing because I think they have gone to this, and like the soapbox I get on you for me say is like, comp wasn't like underworked before. Like, so there's not like you should be worried about your job. And I think people are getting over that. Like, actually, this is kind of cool. The news isn't helping in some other places with AI. But I think in our place in particular in the world, there's just so much work. And so it was, I think, it was cool. WorldatWork did that. And then all of a sudden, I think they were like, oh my gosh, like really people are leaning in now.
Yeah.
Totally.
And again, AI really is the great leveling force where it used to be you hired the smartest person in the room and got the best result. But now it's about hiring the person that has the right level of discernment, the right level of imagination to really bring things into life that didn't exist before.
That's a good point. I think the other observation I have about sort of the AI use revolution, it puts, and I think this might be the same thing you just said, it puts a premium on asking the right questions, not generating the right response. So, I tell this story recently. We had a client that was asking for something that it took me literally an hour to build like a proof of concept of using a vibe code app, but literally an hour to produce something that would have taken weeks, not long to show them this is what's possible. And, but I'm like, but it was a few years of experience of knowing what to ask it to do was actually the premium. It wasn't the coding. The coding and the UX is easy in that circumstance. It's just a POC.
I don't know how to code, but my agent does.
But it's going to be interesting, in my opinion, consulting in particular and other places where, and you've got a unique perspective, is the doing part of the job had value and the knowledge had value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to change a lot, because the knowledge part, the doing, like, you're like, why did I just pay you so much money for 5 minutes? You're like, well, go to town, dude. Like, try to figure it out yourself. Like, what you ask Aria, how you do it, how it's set up is more important now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the traditional consulting model is leverage. It's about
leverage and billable hours.
Well, that's the point, right? So like, you've got a relatively small number of hours from a small number of people, and then an army of folks that cost less but do all the time. Yeah. And as that time disappears, how does that affect the way you think of the economics?
I think you're going to see a lot more project billing stuff, right? Yeah. Which actually, I think for practitioners is going to be super cool, because, you know, and
you want this is what it's worth.
Yeah, this is what it's worth. But also, I think the deliverable is going to change. Like, I need that, like that app or that whatever, which means less like, I'm going to need you next year stuff. So I think there's a lot of changes that are coming that cascade.
It also gets back to, now with AI, we can have a broader impact. So before, we might be able to have time to manage 3 clients. Now we can do 6, right? But that also is context switching as well. Like to knowing your client, you know, and going deep is also the other challenge.
Totally.
So what are you seeing, you know, not from all 250 people in there yesterday, but, you know, you're a huge advocate for it. What are the first hurdles, and where, if someone's at the minus 5.2, nice random number.
It's a very specific starting
RNG is 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're at a minus 5.2, where would you have them start?
Start small. Don't try and be like, I'm going to automate my entire employee handbook and we're going to have this giant project. Start small, but like, okay, help me refine this email in my own voice, or help me do this with this spreadsheet. Help me find out this formula. I've been doing this thing manually for so long. Every journey with a single step. Do something small, because most AI initiatives, projects fail because you try and solve for your entire handbook, not for just one part of the policies.
Yeah, I like the one I've been telling people is have it write a job description. Because if you think about what LLMs in particular are best at and optimized for,
words.
It's words, predicting the next best word. Yeah. So improving, give it a job description, say, make this better.
Yeah.
Then learn, well, what happens if I teach it what a senior data analyst is supposed to be, level criteria, right? Put them in. Now make it better, right? Yeah. That was our session yesterday. And it's really good at that. And but it helps you realize what's possible. It helps you realize where context helps.
And
that's
the great thing
tangible.
Is you can do it yourself. So you don't need to buy a SaaS tool. Sorry, Sean, to do what you want it to do, because if you know English, great. And can you articulate what you want? Even better. Yeah. Your AI out there can do it for you.
So 2 things. First, if you're our audio guy on Quinto, you can also use Portuguese.
Right. You don't even need to speak
a language.
Right.
You have to be able to speak a language.
Okay. I'm feeling accused right now.
Hopefully you feel guilty. The way I have people start, so and it's also small, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. Start small. Is I replicate and do it your own way, but I tell people to build a 100-person company. So I built a 100-person company, 100-person SaaS software company, even though you're trying to put them out of business, Ryan. And I said, in the standard, spans of control, standard number of people, give me average salary. Make the CEO Wile E. Coyote. It's Acme company, and all the employees are named. all the employees are Warner Brothers characters.
Yeah.
And learn from how you build your company, because what ends up happening is it gave us 18 software developers. It gave you however many. It's actually Claude built it, was pretty creative. Bugs Bunny was in charge of sales. Pepe Le Pew was customer support.
Nice.
But then you look and it had all 18 software developers had the same pay. It all had, and so it was grabbing, and you can see how it works, and then you can keep continuing, like, well, give me random pay for this, give me this, write job descriptions for this. And so for me, what it ends up leaving you is a really cool company of non-pie data. I mean, when Foghorn Leghorn calls me up and complains that I got his pay wrong and it's public, like, that's a cool conversation I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But I have this cool play set. But I learned, for me, even like, and I'd started, and I come from development. So weirdly, for me, the uncomfortable part was like vibe coding and doing stuff and not seeing the code. So it was the opposite side, but it allowed me to go through and be like, this is how it behaves and why I need to check and what I need to check for. And then I could keep building it out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great.
And Sean, you hit it right there that you didn't take what came out the first time, you massaged it, you edited it. And so as you're getting started, don't just take whatever the AI gives you and use it. Actually read the output. Does it pass your smell test? You have been in the room for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You've earned your place. Your gut instinct actually does matter a lot. At the end of the day, it's all about, AI is here to amplify what you're doing. But humans, at the end of the day, we're deciding what the output is. So it's not, you can own that output, but you need to also make sure that you aren't owning work slop or AI slop, that you're not giving up your thought process.
I've told people the expectation of time saved in the first bit when you get started should be 0. And it's because you're going to spend as much time learning and checking data. But as you get more comfortable and your skills get better writing prompts and you get better with your tool and your tool gets better and you get more comfortable, because now my Acme company is fully built out. I feel that the data that I put into a system's good. I have, my own data governance for my company. But I spent time. Also works there. Scooby-Doo's in IT, which I'm a little concerned, but that's okay. But
I'm curious Elmer Fudd's role.
I can't remember. I just remember
he's got to be a
security.
I was hoping he was going to be a new client acquisition hunter.
Oh yeah, he's a hunter. I like it. I'll have to go back and check. But you spend more time, I think, as you go. Like the time savings, people think I'm going to do this. And I think they get a little flustered because, well, actually, to write these job descriptions took me just as long as if I just did it. But you're functionally ahead, and over a period of time, you will save time because your skills will get better to replace that. And I think that's the fallacy when people start, is they get a little flustered, like, well, there's all these time savings. And there's not when you start. In fact, if you're any of a nerd at all, it's a time vacuum, because as you start to dig into it, you're like, oh my God, this shit's cool.
What if I did this? What if I did this? What if I just talked to my computer? Dude, it works. Okay, let's try something else. Like that's like the whole builder mentality of what could be. But we also need to make sure that as we build things, we are bringing folks along for the ride, that they become engaged and not disaffected by what's happening. Because at the end of the day, we as humans aren't here. That AI is not going to come with the next best idea, next best product. Who is? Humans leveraging amplifying tools.
Yeah, totally.
I would tell you, if you name your AI buddy a female name, one tip would be tell your wife first. I was talking to Wanda a lot. And she
was this Aria person.
Aria, I think might qualify.
Aria might qualify, and so she was like, "Who's Wanda?" I heard you talking to her, and are you on your headphones? Because normally I'm in my office and I just let it come out. And she's like, she talks back, and the voices. I'm like, no, it's the computer. And she's like, I'm not 100% sure that's better or worse, but like
my wife's also nervous because she's a big Game of Thrones fan, and Arya Stark, not the most friendly character. Like she is driven for. She's like, don't get on her list. Got it. Cool. Thank you, Arya.
This is great. You are easy to find online as long as you can find the secret H and our AI guy or
AIamplifies.org.
Okay. We'll make sure we get that in there. We ask everyone at the very end if you could fix anything in HR right now automagically, what would it be?
That is a fantastic question. It would probably be to ensure that we are demonstrating and communicating what it is that we are capable of, that we ensure that our leaders, that we're not just giving them a bunch of walls of text, but that we can find a way that we can engage them personally, and so that we reduce the frictions to running the business.
That's good.
That's really cool. Actually, the AI plug I would put there is if you have like getting things graphically for managers and whatever, some of those walls of text, it's a great way to give you a starting point. Like basically taking whatever you're not good at, AI is good at, reasonably good at everything. So that's a great one.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. Hope
This
you
has
guys
been
have
fun.
fun. Yeah, I'd really appreciate having you on. Appreciate all the work you're doing. Really do. Like the amount of advocating you're doing for AI and helping people out there for really, to be fair, right now, $0. That you're advocating. You're just you really are a big proponent of making sure the industry has the skills, it doesn't get left behind. And
you can do it too, Paul.
Cool.
You can do it.
I'm
have to worry about Paul.
Yeah.
Paul and I, if we had our choice, we'd probably just go nerd out at a bunch of laptops. And
This is fair. This is fair.
So
let's have them debate each other.
No, the two computers.
Welcome to the botnet.
Yeah, the problem is they when you get agents talking to each other, or you have MCPs talking to each other, this podcast is 3 seconds long. 5,000 topics will have been covered.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. So make sure you give us a follow, and we'll have all of Ryan's information out there. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it, Ryan.
Cheers.